This week on Hermitcraft.
Should we blow it up? Or should we have a little sleepy sleep next to it? All of the above. Any questions? That's a lot of questions. Oh, shoot!
Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap. My name is Pixel Riffs, our writer is LoyXP, and did you know the Nether exists? It seems 30 weeks into the server, the Hermitcraft hive mind has suddenly realised that a bunch of slabs and some granite is not an acceptable nether hub for the most popular YouTube SMP. So, to save themselves face and the professional Minecrafters hashtag, quite a few hermits decided to prop up their nether tunnels this week.
It was temporary. We were supposed to get a real nether hub, and Iskall signed up for that, and most of you know how that went.
It does of course help that Iskall's main hall of the nether hub has been structurally complete for a while now, and that its style matches Tango Tech's personal taste almost exactly, so Tango has no problem expanding the hellish perimeter towards his and Zedaf's bases.
I'm digging that, all the layers and everything with the red concrete, the nether wart, the red nether brick, the regular nether brick, all looking good. I love the stairs.
Meanwhile, Scar and Cubfan decide to double team it, combining their wit and skills into a single Stranger Things reference machine. First to rift up Cub's base, then connect the Scar City to the main hub, and finally throw some leftover wit at the community area.
Yeah, they were super fun to build, and that thing is super spooky. We're like down in the laboratory. We've got the sheriff there. He's always grumpy because he cares so much.
I'm not sure what you mean by 11.
Cubs, give her an Eggo right now. She's upset now. Look at her, she's staring at the wall. Eggo,
The references are flying over my head, man. I'm gonna be honest.
You stabbed me in the heart.
Still in the mood for portals and tunnels, Cubfan connects his base to his personal end room with an ice road, which, as it turns out, is about 10 seconds faster than going through the nether. Probably because this way you won't stand there staring at the amazing Cub Hub for a full minute.
Just drop on down here, down into the ice road itself. Beacons are green because it's now day now. And we just get on over here and we can just zigzag our way across this and just hop right on in while dodging a skeleton arrow, apparently. Nice.
Cub's less pragmatic inventions include the macroscopic daytime clock, which is really convenient on a mushroom island where mobs don't spawn, and a functional piano that you can totally play, but not that well.
How about that, guys? How about that? Haha!
Which is why from now on all Cub clips from the recap will be accompanied by this music. False Symmetry joins the portal craze and installs one in a sort of altar over at her mushroom island, but not before trying out the new and improved Hermitcraft Advancement Challenge, where she gives herself only an hour to complete as many custom advancements as she can, which somehow leads to her discovering and investigating a murder.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to reach it by getting rid of all of this, but I can plant this later. Why is there a head in my wheat farm? Who has buried the evidence of some poor Alex? Sugarcane, slab, double slab, stone brick.
Oh come on, how do you screw it up? It's in a song, for crying out loud. Zloy has an infographic about this. TFC also sets foot into the nether this week on a routine search for quartz and blazes, but when the routes into the local nether fortress all seem a little unclear, he settles for returning to the fort with a pocket full of magma blocks and reroutes his zombies so they can make friends with the skeletons. Wells Knight, meanwhile, works on the cathedral, single-handedly upping the faith stat of the server in the hopes of new buffs and higher-level paladins. This time he works on an altar and a place for the quieter stand, which, you know, is a good idea if you remember all of the Hermitcraft the musical jokes we've made on this show. And speaking of compilation-y stuff we do on this show, enter the Slabyrinth, which Wells did enter, and later regretted quite a bit. If you've missed the last couple of episodes, the Slabyrinth is Mumbo Jumbo's multi-level maze project in the Season 5 gaming district. Each layer has a different puzzle to solve, starting by directing an armor stand around a series of water streams and progressing into mazes the player navigates themselves. In theory, each puzzle should take around 15 to 20 minutes to solve, but considering the creator and the participants, it's anybody's guess. Either way, it's timed with a redstone mechanism, so contestants can record how quickly or slowly they make it out the other side.
one thing to watch out for is that you don't fall down this hole. Oh, that's a bit of a health and safety hazard.
This is looking like good material for a clip episode, so we won't cover everybody's run here, but it's just a shame Mumbo didn't put on his best David Bowie costume for the grand opening. After all, he does remind us of the Babe.
Nothing, tra-la-la.
Mumbo's next project is a passive mob farm at his base, which he designs and gets halfway through building before he realises passive mobs won't spawn in ocean biomes. To cancel out his frustration, he opts for some murder therapy, travelling around the server beheading mobs and attacking villagers.
Which is very satisfying. Very satisfying indeed.
Zedaf opts for a more productive use of his testificates and throws a couple onto a wheat and beet farmland in the hope of automated crop production. One wonders why he needs large amounts of beetroot when he already has plenty of tastier and more fulfilling stuff available. Perhaps Zed's decided to take up beatboxing. What has my life become? Joe Hills also finds himself lost in the unfamiliar surroundings of the Slabyrinth this week, but at this point nothing is as familiar as Castle Ravenloft, which now has a chapel roof with prismarine borrowed from Mumbo and a few more interior decorations to its name. Stress Monster is still in a decorative mood after last week's graveyard, and she works on a completely different type of yard, the lumber kind. It's even connected to the swamp waterway for easy access by boat, so I guess you could say it's waterlogged?
So I'm just going to do this kind of thing. I'm not going to make it look too messy though. Hello? Oh, I forgot you could jump on the bed now. That's so cool.
Vintage Beef also can't see the wood for the trees over at his jungle town, which this week gets a farmhouse and an accompanying hay barn, which doesn't have any hay yet, but hey.
You know what? Let's begin our storehouse by storing our workbench in there. There's always going to have to be a workbench in the outdoor storage area. We could put an anvil out here. We could do all kinds of stuff.
Finding himself running low on precious resources, PythonGB sets himself the challenge of filling his entire inventory with ore blocks in a single caving run. At first he tries to resist bringing dungeon loot as well, but before long he's got a shulker box full of horse armor and music discs, so now he can have that horseback rave he's always wanted.
Get destroyed, creeper brother, and let's reap the rewards.
Azuma Void has found a more efficient way of scoring some redstone rather than digging face first into the ground. With a bit of modification to his witch farm and some auto-clicker manipulations, X manages to get all the benefits of an AFK witch farm and a looting 3 sword combined for the maximum output of redstone, glowstone, gunpowder, and of course witch heads. Having expanded his head collection, X builds a whole new area in the head hall with a new custom mini biome and a totally square miniature polar bear in it.
So that's pretty cool. And did that snow layer behind you melt? And we got a little rabbit as well. This project is just superb.
Speaking of heads, Rendog still has a cursed pumpkin firmly planted on his noggin, so at least there's some continuity in the Rendog cinematic universe. Before he can venture into the end to grab some more shulker boxes for the auto smelter's auto storage, the first order of business is removing said pumpkin face, which he does in style by nosediving into a giant crash pad with Mumbo's mustache on it. Ren's broken his streak of doing a base tour at episode 50, so maybe headbutting Mumbo is a new tradition? Time will tell. But that's all we've got time for in this recap. My name has been Pixorifs, and our writer is ZloyXP. With winter on the way, I've built a cozy rustic inn for my latest tutorial, and you'll find a link to that in the end cards. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future recaps, and share this video with the Hermitcraft fans in your life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.